Hey, everybody, welcome back to PMS, the Perpetual Motion Squad, a Big Bang Theory fan and podcast. And we are your hosts, Big Bang Theory super fans, married couple Cat.
And Paul, who's
And
here again, who's wearing an awesome t-shirt this time.
oh,
I am wearing the official Megaforce t-shirt.
one of the worst movies ever made.
Oh, it's not. It starts nowhere and
Where and
goes
it goes
nowhere.
nowhere.
How could you say that was a bad movie?
And I don't know how Barry Bostwick still claims to uh, admits that he was in it.
And the best part about that movie is the thumb
The
kiss.
thumb kiss.
Oh, but yes, we are back here again after last week's mailbag.
You
Once
could
again,
you could do that
everybody,
on you could do that on your new podcast. Talk about thumb kiss movie.
I am actually going to do Megaforce.
Yeah. It's
It's upsetting, but I am going to have to do Megaforce. I think yeah.
yeah.
It's going to be
For those who don't know,
give
Paul's
me a
new
different language.
podcast is about bad movies.
Yeah. I've also found one that was predominantly in England. I didn't realize that there was like the English can't make as far as I'm concerned, they make great TV shows. But this movie was rather questionable. It was I bought a vampire motorcycle. It doesn't run on gasoline, it runs on blood. From 1990. I had never even heard about this movie. And yeah, it's pretty bad, but it's become a cult following of a movie. So I bought a vampire motorcycle, but I am going to have to definitely do
Okay.
Megaforce. It's not pretty. So, but this week, because last week we did the mailbag, and everybody, come on, we only had a very short podcast last week because we're just not getting answers. And I know it's the silly season coming up, and we're all getting into the eating and the starting to celebrate and the we are getting cold. Kat lived in a cold climate, and she would get depressed around this time of the year because she had to be basically honkered down because it was so cold outside. So, but then again, here in Australia, technically we are supposed to be basically butt naked right now because it's so friggin' hot outside. But it's not. We were out, I mean, I was out yesterday in shorts and a t-shirt, and now it's back to being cold in outside. So
Yeah.
God knows what's going on with that. So
But yeah, there's no such thing as climate change.
climate change, yeah,
But we're not going to get into political
no.
discussion here.
But we are here to do season 2, episode number 10, the Vartabedian Conundrum. What did we think about this episode?
It's okay. It proves my theory about Dr. Stephanie.
Yes, it did. I didn't actually fully agree with what Kat had said in the past, but watching this episode that we've just finished watching now,
Yep.
um, and I mean it's ridiculous. I've seen this episode, yeah, at least a dozen times, and you never really pick up on it, but you realize that Stephanie is a manipulator.
Yep. She's an emotional vampire, really.
She is, and
Yep.
I
And
think
she's incredibly manipulative and yeah.
she's also very unsure about herself.
Yeah, she
Because
is.
there is people, and I have an acquaintance. She's no longer a friend of mine. She's an acquaintance. Because we're not that close anymore. Um,
Irrelevant, honey.
yeah, she uses sex because she's unsure of being able to hold on to a guy without it.
Yeah.
And I look at Stephanie as the same way that I look
Hmm.
at her, is the fact that Stephanie uses her body to hold a guy because she's unsure about her own worth in
Worth.
life.
Yeah.
She's a doctor. She is she is not unattractive. She's a very attractive
Yeah,
woman.
she's very pretty. She's
She's
intelligent, she's
yeah,
successful,
but she
but
is needy.
really insecure.
She's is insecure, needy, and a manipulator.
Yeah.
All the three things that
Because
I
every time somebody starts to say something she doesn't want to hear, she uses sex.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut
Which
you off,
which
honey.
no no which most guys would sit there and go, "Oh, woe is me, I'm getting unlimited sex from a girl."
But
Yeah, that's fine, but it doesn't last.
what were you going to say? The three things?
No, the three things that I would believe that most men would find, she's needy. She is unsure about herself and she's manipulative. The three things that most people don't want to be around
Yeah, exactly.
because, you need to have your own space. It's okay to be with somebody,
Hmm.
you know, you're married, whatever, you're in a relationship, but you need your own space. If Kat and I were together 24/7, not having mutual rooms to go to and explore our own interests, we'd probably kill each other
Hmm.
because it's
Well,
okay
when
to
when when I first moved here and we were living in that little shoebox down by the beach, we had basically three rooms, the living room, the bedroom, and
the kitchen.
no, the bathroom,
Oh yeah.
and a little baby kitchenette. So we were right on top of each other constantly.
Yeah. We had no space for ourselves. So
And
when
there
we
were
went,
times that that was a little,
it's
um,
challenging.
yeah.
Because when we got into our other rental a house before we bought our own home or before we built our own home, we finally had our own separate rooms, and it was like, oh, space and just some alone
Yeah.
time because everybody needs and everybody deserves some alone time.
Yeah.
So no, I look, I've never disliked Stephanie. I've always thought she's a really lovely girl.
Hmm.
Her confidence level is zero. She's got no confidence in herself. Yes, she is a good doctor, I believe, but in a social setting with regards to a relationship, no.
And that's the thing is if she hadn't have been so needy and manipulative, I would have agreed with you that she would have been a better match.
Yeah.
But because of that, no,
And this is
Leonard
why
doesn't need that.
And this is why Penny and Leonard work so well because Penny's got her own apartment. Leonard's got his own apartment. At one stage, when this whole thing's going on, later in the seasons, when Leonard says, to Penny that he was going to move in with her, and he goes, "Can you think of a reason not to?" And she's like, "Nope, can't think of a reason." He goes,
Yep.
"Okay," and then he comes out and he goes, "Can you clear some space off the medicine cabinet because I take a lot of medication." And he leaves, and he's all excited, and Penny's like, "Okay, I can make this work," but you can see
A
she's
panic
hyperventilating,
attack.
yeah, hyperventilating, and having a panic attack because it's gone from the
Oh, you froze,
we're gonna
honey. You
up.
froze.
Okay, I don't know why I'm.
So it went from,
Yeah, it went from I've got my space to you've got your space. Now we cohabitating. And that was the same as my mum, God rest her soul, when she was here. That my mum had a partner where my mum had her own apartment
yeah,
and he had his own home, and that was their own space. At one stage, he said, "Why don't you move in with me to save money?" And she's like, "Yep." I mean, obviously, she was thinking about it, but of course, then she got sick and passed away. But she did say that she was thinking about it. But then, as she said, I like my own space and I like my own independence.
yeah. I
So.
remember Katharine Hepburn once said, because you know how she had the ongoing affair with Spencer Tracy.
Yes.
She is quoted with saying that men and women should live independently and just get together for sex.
Well, I
Bow
mean,
chicka
maybe
wow wow.
Bao Chihuahua, maybe she's not wrong. Who knows? It works for some people. It
Yeah.
doesn't work, for everybody. So, you know. So this episode opens up where we are seeing Stephanie, and she is looking in Sheldon's ear. And have you avoided?
Okay, I don't know what that is. Give me a
All
second.
right.
Uh, come on.
You're hearing something in the
I'm
background.
hearing something.
Is it an octave
Oh,
below middle C?
crap.
Uh-uh.
Oh, crap. My main Chrome closed,
Okay.
which means that I've lost all of the tabs that I had open that I was working on. And I have to log into everything all over again and figure out what it was that I had open. And I've lost a lot of things that I had open because I wanted to go back and look at them.
Oh, because I just got a notification. Chrome just updated.
I don't know.
So I wonder what's going to happen on my computer
But
too.
it's probably going to open that screen instead of the main
The
screen.
main screen.
Yep, that happens to me every once in a while, and it's never the end of the world, but it's always very inconvenient and annoying.
Yes.
So,
So starting back on the opening of the episode, we are seeing that Stephanie is looking in Sheldon's ear because apparently he hears a sound that is just
an
below
octave
C,
above high C.
above middle C.
Yeah.
And he believes that, he might have a tumor. And as Stephanie says, it's not a tumor.
Well, okay.
And then,
No, he thinks that something's inflamed. She's confirming that it's not, and then he is convinced it must be a tumor.
but of course, Leonard
Now,
also comes back and says, oh, sorry, you were going to say?
in young Sheldon, it's established that Sheldon has perfect pitch,
Yes, he does.
but that's in young Sheldon.
Yes.
In this particular episode, Jim Parsons hits the exact note that he's referencing. So either he has perfect pitch or he had some kind of instrument to help him tune into that.
Right.
I don't know which.
Yeah. Okay. Because Leonard says, because even Sheldon says, well, do you hear it too? And he goes, no, I can hear like a narcissistic drone.
Yeah.
And this is where Leonard comes back with, well, it might have been the fact that you might
Oh,
have
those toilet swirlies from when you were a kid,
yeah.
an ongoing bacterial infection.
And of course, this is where Sheldon looks at Stephanie and goes, "Is that possible? Because I did get a lot of them, even in church."
Yeah.
And
And
she goes, "Well, okay, well,
no.
if that's the case, then because then when he says, oh, it's possibly a tumor, and she goes, well, no, it's not a tumor. It can't. I highly doubt it." And so then she decides to give him a cootie shot, which is a
Well, she's
circle.
like, but if it is, there's something I can do.
Yeah.
And he's like, really? And she takes his arm and she draws on it with her index finger. Circle, circle, dot, dot. Now you've got a cootie shot.
And gets up and goes to Leonard. Okay, I'm going to
Going to
go to
bed.
bed. So she trundles off to bed. And this is where Sheldon calls an emergency roommate meeting. And Leonard protests, but because it's Sheldon, it's knocked down and it doesn't pass. And Sheldon wants to start off with congratulating Leonard on his new relationship with
On
Stephanie.
the success of his new
Yeah,
relationship with Stephanie. Yeah. And
and
it's like,
he's
okay.
and he's like, thank you, and he says that now I just want to also congratulate you on the new
Um,
cohabitation, and he draws to Leonard's attention the fact that because they have in the fridge in the freezer or refrigerator they had there was two sections, one for him, one for Leonard, and then the center was going to be a communal. But now everybody gets their
shelf.
own shelf, and the
And the
door
door
becomes
becomes
communal.
communal.
And Leonard is like, well, no, we
She's
are not.
not living
We're not.
here.
She's not living there. We're not living together. And Sheldon decides to basically modify the roommate agreement and says the fact, yes,
Okay. Sheldon grabs a copy of the roommate agreement.
yes,
The cohabitation writer states, a girlfriend shall be deemed living with when she has stayed over A, 10 consecutive nights, B, more than 9 nights in a 3 week period. Clause A is made redundant by Clause B, given that it's not possible to have stayed over for 10 consecutive nights without first having stayed for 9 nights in a 3 week period, as Clause B would be triggered by staying over for 9 consecutive nights.
right. However, do we know that Stephanie has not stayed over for 9 consecutive
No,
nights?
we don't know that.
So that could be a possibility that Stephanie his
But
it.
I'm sure that she has stayed over for 9 nights within a 3 week
Oh,
period.
yeah, definitely for
So
sure.
yeah.
And Sheldon also maintains the fact that we now have to have the vacuuming frequency is increased from 2 to 3 times a week due to more dead skin cells. And he also says that he needs to modify the bathroom schedule since women have different
Different
needs to
needs, but
men.
we'll have to talk about that.
Yeah. And so Leonard's like, I'm going to bed. And he goes, well, take this with you and get Stephanie to initial where it says
Yeah.
for Stephanie to initial.
Now, you also are forgetting that
Mm.
when he said that he wants to have Stephanie sign the roommate agreement, he also wants her to sign the clause that she cannot play a percussion or brass instrument.
I was going to get to that.
Now, in season 5, which is a couple of seasons from now,
Yep.
episode 18, the werewolf transformation, spoiler alert, Sheldon takes up the bongos. Sheldon
Yes, he
plays the
does.
bongos.
However, Leonard does say, you can't play any percussive instruments or brass instruments after 10 o'clock. And he's like, really, Leonard, we're going to go the roommate agreement route because Sheldon is being the carefree
He's
Sheldon.
basically sleepwalking.
He is basically doing that. So it's interesting how a roommate agreement, and as Sheldon has said, when Leonard is in the relationship with Priya, that
It
the
really
roommate
benefits
agreement always
Sheldon.
benefits Sheldon
Hmm.
rather than benefits the two people in the
Anybody else?
house.
Yeah.
The roommate agreement should be equal to
Yeah,
You shouldn't favor one to the
but
other.
look who's writing it.
I know Sheldon is writing it,
Okay,
and this
can
is
I finish
why.
my trivia now?
Yes, go for it.
In season 9, episode 10, The Earworm Reverbation, Sheldon plays a tuba after Penny takes away his synthesizer.
Yes, he does, doesn't he?
Yep.
Because she comes back into bed with Leonard and she goes, "There, problem solved." And then he starts playing the tuba, and that's when Leonard goes, "Oh
Where
yeah,
the
by the
hell did
way,
he get a tuba?
Sheldon got a tuba." So yeah, as I said, the roommate agreement always favors Sheldon, you
Yep.
know. So the next scene we see after Leonard goes to bed
Oh,
is
this is so embarrassing.
Leonard is in the middle of making breakfast. He's looks like he's whipping up some pancake batter. And Leonard is standing there mixing up the pancake batter, and Sheldon is taking one blueberry at a time to put into his bowl. And Stephanie comes out and says, "Good morning," and Sheldon goes, "Oh, good morning, Dr. Stephanie. I
I trust Leonard satisfied you sexually
sexually."
last night.
And he's like, "Sheldon, we don't say things like that." And he goes, "Why? I heard you ask it over and over again."
What,
And
why can't I ask it
yeah,
once?
and of course, then Stephanie comes back and she says, "He did very nicely." And he goes, see there, that wasn't so bad. And you got an
Now you have
answer."
an answer
Yeah. And as the mixing of the pancake batter is going on, in comes Penny
in
in her
her
underwear.
in basically in a little tiny tank top, no bra, and little sleep shorts.
Yeah. And she's holding a coffee mug saying, "Out of coffee, need coffee." And she's like, and of course, this is where we go. And Stephanie's like, "Oh, hello, who are you?" And she goes, "Oh, hi, I'm Penny from across the hall. I've heard a lot about you." And Stephanie's like, "Really? I haven't heard a thing about you." And looks over towards Leonard. And of course, Leonard starts to feverishly whip up the batter again. And Stephanie goes, "Leonard, why haven't I heard about this woman who lives across the hall who comes into your apartment in the morning wearing her underwear?" And he goes, "Oh, well, she's heard about you because we're in a relationship, and you haven't heard about her because." And Penny's standing there as if to say, "Yeah," and Leonard comes back with, "I didn't sleep with her, I swear." And of course, what does Sheldon do? It's not through a lack of trying. So, and as he says, we are very casual in this building. For instance, there are some mornings that I'll just mosey on down to the second level and have breakfast with Mrs. Vartabedian." And Sheldon comes back with, "Really? I've never been invited down to have breakfast with cereal with Mrs. Vartabedian,"
She doesn't like you.
which now puts Sheldon at an absolute conundrum.
Yep.
What did he ever do to upset Mrs. Vartabedian? But as Leonard says to Stephanie, "Oh, you've got to, apparently you've got to go and resect a bowel, and I've got to go to work, and Penny's got to go and
Put
put
on
clothes on."
clothes.
So, and as Stephanie just leaves and everything like that. And Sheldon is still looking very, perplexed. And, you know, Leonard comes over and of course, the original comment was that when Sheldon and Leonard were in the kitchen by themselves, Leonard says, "I don't care what you say, my girlfriend is not giving you a prostate exam." Because
Yeah.
Sheldon says, "We've got the gloves."
Gloves. We got the rubber gloves.
Yeah. So this is where Leonard is walking back to the kitchen going, Why is it that I feel like I've had the prostate exam?"
Mm.
And, we see Penny says, "Well, that's Stephanie. She seems like she's, really nice." And Sheldon goes, "Oh, yes, yes." And she's a wonderful roommate. And Penny goes, "What, you're
You
living
guys are
together?"
living together?
And of course, Sheldon comes back with, "Like hippies."
And
And
Leonard's
Leonard
like,
goes,
no, we
"We're
are
not living
not
together."
living together.
And Penny goes, "Hey, let's go find out." And of course they start to walk towards Leonard's bedroom. And Leonard says, this is the great quote of this episode, "If I was living with a woman, don't you think I'd know about it?" And Penny comes back with, "Oh,
Oh,
sweetie."
honey, you'd be the last one to know about it. Oh, sweetie, you'd be the last one to know about it.
So the next scene we see is we're in Leonard's bedroom. And Penny's going through Leonard's closet and sees a rather nice dress. And as she
Oh, this
says,
must look lovely on you.
And he goes, "We're not living together." And she goes, "Okay, moving on." And she goes over and she goes, "Okay, so we've got the floral bed sheets
The
and
scented
the scented
candles.
candles." And he says, "We're not living together." And she goes, "Okay, no, that's fine." And she goes over and she goes, "Oh, and so she we've got the fluffy
Who are
slippers.
these
Who are
people
these
in the
people in this picture?" And he
in the
goes,
picture? And he's like, well, the dog's goofy and the people in the mouse ears, I have no
"Yeah."
idea. And then he's
And
like, wait a minute, where's my bat signal?
no, 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 because she says, and he says, "Oh, that's right, yes. Where's my bat signal?" And she
And then she
says,
asked about the picture.
"Yeah." And then she says, "Okay, we're going to move on." And she says, "So we've got the lotion near the bed. We've got your InStyle magazine, and of course he's like, we're not living together." And she says, you're going to go down swinging, aren't you?" And does mention again about the duvet that's coming on the bed, and this is where Leonard immediately gets the deer in the headlights. Oh my God,
We're
we're
living
living
together.
together. And I love it that Penny goes, "Really? What was your first clue?"
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that are now pointing out the fact that Leonard and Stephanie are now living together. So the next scene we see is Leonard is coming into the Caltech lunch or cafeteria, scratching madly at his pants because Stephanie has gone and bought Leonard some new clothes.
And
And
they're a wool blend.
yeah, well, as Leonard says, they're a wool slash fire ant blend, and is itching all over his body.
Yeah, he's like, "Arr."
Yeah, and he even says to Howard and Raj that he'll give them $20 just to change pants. But he does say that we're going to be buying certain things for the room, and apparently we're going to get a duvet, and I don't know what a duvet is, but I'm pretty sure I want one.
A dust to ruffle.
And he says, because this is where they say, he says, "Well, I was thinking about it, and it's time for us to live together." And Howard's like, "Oh, seriously, there's a
There's
plethora of women
a
out there."
virtual buffet of women.
Yeah, and you are sitting in the corner eating the same deviled egg over and over again. And he goes, "Well, at least I've got an egg. What do you have?" And he says, "You see that hot blonde behind you?" And they turn around, they look, and he's like, "I can go and hit on her, and you can't." And Leonard's like, Leonard calls him out and goes,
Okay, go hit
"Go
on her.
ahead." And he goes, "She's not my type." And Rose comes back with, "Oh, that's a shame because she was just checking you out." And he
He's
goes,
like, really?
"Really?" And he
He's
goes, "Of
like, of
course not."
course not. Look at her.
So yeah. So the next scene we see is Leonard is down in the laundry about to wash his pants, and Penny comes in and he goes, "Do you have any fabric softener?" And she hands him. Now this is really rude.
It
She's
is
got
really
quarter
rude.
of a bottle left of the fabric softener,
Yeah.
and he undoes it, and he has that moment of, "How much do you think I'll need?" And then he just empties the entire bottle of fabric softener into the washer. I mean, how about Leonard? Like Penny might need some fabric softener too. And I like it
Yeah.
as she goes, "Oh my God, what are you doing? Washing a crocodile?" And she pulls the pants out of the washer and says, "Oh, sweetie, you can't wash these. These are going to be ruined." And he goes, "Really?" And he grabs them from her hand, puts it in, closes the door, puts the quarter in, starts it up, and goes, "Oh, that's a shame. You should have told me before I did that." So we
Yeah.
already knew that that he wanted them ruined anyway because he just couldn't wear them. So we
Yeah.
see that, and of course, Penny does say, "Is everything going okay with you and Stephanie?" And he goes, "It's fine." And she goes, "Really?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah, it's wonderful." And this is where Penny basically convinces Leonard that he's entitled to voice out how he feels and about how the relationship is going.
Yeah.
And basically says that, acknowledge it as there are two people in the relationship. It's not all one way. And you don't have to do everything just to please that one person.
And he's like, really? That doesn't sound right.
Yeah. And she said, "Well, what happened previously, in relationships you had when when, say the woman wanted to slow things down with you?" And he goes, "Well, it would be basically, I really like you. I'd like to see how things go with Mark." And she goes, "Yeah, that would certainly slow it down for sure." But she says, "You need to speak to Stephanie and tell her how you feel."
So I want to know
Yeah.
who Mark is, and is that a slam at something Penny said to him or another relationship, which I have a feeling it was, and who the other relationship was that said that to him?
Yeah, because we only
We never
know of
heard
Joyce
that.
Kim,
I mean, Joyce Kim,
Leslie Winkle,
Leslie Winkle,
Dr. Stephanie,
yeah,
Penny. Well, no,
Yeah.
Penny wasn't in a relationship at this stage.
Yeah.
So really, that's
Yeah.
who's that?
Who said
Unless
that
that
to
was
him?
in high school,
No, that could have been. Yeah.
it could have been a high school situation.
Yeah, that could have been.
Uh, you never know about who this person is that he was dating that wanted
Yeah.
to date the other guy, Mark. So we got no
Yeah.
idea. Um, so Penny convinces Leonard to go and speak to Stephanie. And of course, he's like, "You've got such a great grasp of it. Do you want to come? You want to, speak to
Want to
her?
come?
Like
Will you
first of
talk
all,
to
he
her
says,
for
"Do you want?"
me?
Yeah,
No.
and she's like, "No." And he goes, "Yeah, okay, I'll just go and talk to her." And he leaves the laundromat. Then he
And
comes
then
back
he
and he
comes
goes,
back and says, "You want to come?"
"Want to come with?" And
She's
she's
like,
like,
"No."
"Go, Leonard, go." So off he goes. The next scene we see is Sheldon is in the apartment and Stephanie is looking at something on Sheldon again.
No, she's got. This is where she has the tongue depressor in.
Oh yes, that's the
Yeah.
tongue
Okay.
depressor.
Yeah, I was
That's
right.
right.
That yeah, the hospital scene comes after this.
That
Um, so Dr. Stephanie says that she can see that Sheldon's larynx is inflamed, but she's actually very awkwardly looking at his pharynx.
no,
Now,
this is wrong. No, we've got it wrong. We've got it. No, we've got this wrong because he goes back up to into his apartment and talks to Stephanie because this is
yeah,
after.
I don't think Sheldon's there at this
No,
point.
Sheldon's
Okay.
not there at this
So he
stage,
comes in and he's like, "Hey, we have to talk."
and she's like,
And
"Oh, yeah, go ahead."
do you want to do the podcast on your
No, go for it.
own? And she's like, "Oh, do we have to talk or do we have to talk?" And he's like, "I don't know what that means."
Yeah. And he tries to explain to her, he wants to explain to her about the fact that they need to slow things down. And
And she's like, "Oh, great. Here comes the
no,
talk."
the talk that comment is when they're in bed together.
No.
Yeah. Because this one is when
Oh, yeah, you're right.
they're sitting on the sofa and he goes and he starts to talk to her about how things need to move in certain ways. And then he stops and he goes, "Oh, damn it, I had it." And she goes,
Yeah.
"Well, hang on a minute. Why don't I tell you how I'm feeling?" And he goes, "Oh, that might work." And she goes over and she whispers into his ear and he goes, "Really? Like right now?" And she goes, "Well, why not?" And he goes, "I just ate. Don't you have to wait an hour?" And
She's
she
like,
goes,
"That's to
"Yeah,
go
for
swimming."
swimming," which is actually not true, everybody.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
I'm a
always
swim.
heard you get cramps if you swim too soon after eating.
I'm I am a fully qualified swimming instructor. That is a myth
Okay.
about having to wait an hour after you've eaten. Yes, you might get a bit of a stomach ache, and there is a possibility that you can throw up in the water, but it doesn't in you don't.
Ew, that would be
Yeah,
gross.
yep. But you don't get a cramp to the point you can't swim. It doesn't work that way. So no,
Okay.
little bit of uh, yeah, ridiculousness. So we see that Stephanie shuffles Leonard off to the bedroom and he goes, "Oh, I hope I don't get a cramp." And she's like, "Yeah." The next scene we see is Penny is down in the laundromat and here comes Leonard. And Leonard's looking a little bit disheveled. And Penny says, "Oh, I put all your clothes into the dryer." And he goes, "Oh, thank you." And she goes, "Your
Your
pants
pants are
ruined."
ruined. He's
He
like,
goes,
"Oh,
"Good."
great."
He goes, "Good." And she said, "So how did it go with Stephanie?" And he goes, "Well, at this really, really good." And she goes, "Good, good." And you told her you wanted to slow things down. And he goes, "I did." And then the subject got changed somehow. And she looked at him and she goes,
You had
"The
sex.
sex, didn't you?" And he goes, "A little bit." And she looks at her watch. Now, the reason that you're looking at your watch is because how long do you think that wash cycle would have been? 15 minutes,
No,
maybe?
wash cycles, depending if it's fast and light or a regular washing cycle, can be 20 minutes to 45 minutes.
Okay, so I'm going the 20-minute side because she looks at her watch as if to say, "My God, he was quick." And
Yeah.
she goes, "Oh, okay. Well, it's all going to work out." And he goes, "Yeah, it's all going to work out." And this is where again she says, "Leonard, sweetie, you need to, um, go at your own thing." But as he says, he repeatedly tries to tell Stephanie to move out, but each time she diverts him by initiating sex.
Yep.
And he tries to tell Stephanie that he needs his space, and of course she starts crying. So this again forces Leonard to back down and simply say that he really likes her, you know. So this is where it's you can see that Leonard is really running out of ideas. He wants
Yep.
to have his own space, but it's just not working because of the fact that Stephanie immediately saw, as she said, do we need to do we need to talk or do we need to talk? You can
Yeah.
see that she knows something's coming. So to alleviate the possibility of being told what someone thinks, she immediately uses sexuality to
Yeah.
go away from a difficult situation or a difficult conversation that she doesn't want to have. So this is where Penny is trying to say to Leonard, you're allowed to have it go you're allowed to slow things down, Leonard. If you don't want to have this situation going on, you need to talk to Stephanie. You
He's
can't
like,
go
no, that
on
doesn't
this.
sound right that I should have a right to have it go the way I want it
Exactly,
to go.
exactly. So the next scene we see is that Sheldon has snuck himself into the hospital to test himself
Yes.
because he realizes that this his tinnitus that he can hear is not stopped. So he decides
And
he's
tinnitus is annoying. If
it
you've
is very
ever had it,
annoying,
it's very annoying.
very annoying.
I'm grateful
So
I don't get it very often.
yeah. So we see Stephanie walking around the corner. She's on her rounds, and she says, "Sheldon, what are you doing here?" And he's sitting on like a
And
gurney.
he's like, hold on a second, 130 over 80, a little high, but we can chalk that up to stress for getting past the security guard.
Yeah. And she
And she's
says,
like, where did you get the stethoscope and
and the
blood
blood
pressure
pressure
cuff?
cuff.
And he's like, well, that's actually called a sphygmomanometer. I'm surprised they didn't teach you that in medical school. And he's like, my aunt gave them to me for my 12th birthday.
Yeah, because if theoretical physics didn't work out, I should have a trade to
Made
fall
to
back
fall
on.
back,
And this is where she goes, Sheldon, go
go
home.
home.
And he goes, well, before you go, but can you just authorize these
I just need you to
tests?
sign off on these tests. And he's like, a full body MRI, an
An
upper
upper GI,
GI, a CBC, and
yeah,
and all this stuff.
and of course he also said he wants to be tested for a gastric intestinal problems because when he had the hiccups, it felt like that his diaphragm was just going through the motions.
Yeah.
And this is where she's
And
just,
she's like, go home.
and this is he goes, well, can I just have the upper GI? I
I've
already drank the
already
barium.
swallowed the barium.
Oh, it's just like chalk.
Now, just
Ugh.
so, yeah, but just so you know, barium x-rays are not for, okay, there, barium studies are x-rays that
Mm,
are shot while swallowing the barium to see the movements of the esophagus. So
yeah.
if he's already ta swallowed the barium, it's not going to do anything for
No,
him.
it won't. You won't see it.
Yeah.
No. So this is where we see that, and I think we've got this back to a little bit back to front.
What's that?
No, I think we're okay because the next scene we see is that Leonard comes home.
Is this when we're back in the apartment
We're
and
back in the
Steph?
apartment,
Okay,
and
and
Stephanie is doing the
okay,
the larynx.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So before Leonard walks into the apartment, Stephanie and Sheldon has Stephanie looking in his throat to see if anything is inflamed. And she says that she can see that Sheldon's larynx is inflamed, but she's actually looking at his pharynx.
yeah,
Both of these characters should know the anatomy of the throat.
yes,
Now, Stephanie clearly gives him a false diagnosis in order to get him to stop talking. So she's saying his larynx is inflamed. I've never seen it so bad. The only thing you can do is just stop talking. And
yeah,
he starts to say, for how long? And she's like, shh. And he's like,
yeah.
now I don't know if it was directly inspired by it, but there was an episode of MASH called Identity Crisis that used the same plot device, where the guy was trying to sell everybody insurance.
Oh yes, we only just saw that one,
Yeah, yep.
and they and BJ said about it.
And
Oh, Charles actually said it. Sorry,
Charles says,
he's
I
never seen
forget.
anything like it.
Yeah, and I forget what he called it, but it's basically something in the throat is real because the guy had a shoulder wound. So it's
Yeah,
like your this thing in your throat is connected to your shoulder, and the more you talk, it inflames this thing, this made up piece of anatomy. And BJ went along with it. So as the guy was leaving, BJ runs out with an x-ray saying, hey, look, it's cleared up. He can talk again.
yeah,
Poor
yeah.
poor ambulance driver.
Exactly. Now, we did actually get this a little bit back to front, and it was my fault. I do apologize. because when Leonard comes up to the apartment and Stephanie is looking and says that she gave him a
Oh,
Sheldon
the
ectomy.
nectomy, because Sheldon can't talk for a
Yeah,
while.
and Leonard does say, "Well, remember, if you don't get it all, it comes back even stronger." This is where he says, "We need to
Need to
talk."
talk. Oh,
So
yeah,
then the
that's
next
right.
scene we see, they go to the bedroom, and then the next scene, they're breaking apart from obviously having sex, and she goes, "I'm so sorry, I interrupted. What were you going to say?" And he goes, "I really, I just,
I really
I
like
really
you.
like you." And she goes, "Oh God, here comes
Comes
the
the
talk."
talk. You're going to say that you need your space and that you'll call me on Tuesday. Then you don't call. Then I run into you at the
Coffee
coffee
shop.
shop and you say you've been having trouble with your voicemail. And I know you're lying, but I just pretend that it's okay and I
And even
ignore
though I'm
it.
dying inside,
Yeah. And
yeah.
then she starts crying and he's
And
like, no, 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 no,
no,
no.
no,
I
no.
just wanted to tell you I really like you.
And she goes, "Oh, good. I really like you too." And he
And
goes,
snuggles in.
"Yeah, that's good." So the next scene we see after that one, I'm sorry, everyone. I know that there are people listening to the podcast going,
See,
"Oh my God, you..."
this is what happens if we watch the episode and then wait until later in the day to do the
I
podcast.
know we start losing, yeah,
We
which we
lose it.
shouldn't because we've seen this series at least 12
I
times.
know, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So the next scene we see is Leonard going to the cafeteria again for lunch, and he's wearing a sweater with a big blue bird on it.
Yeah.
And he he remarks about the fact that, Stephanie bought it for him, and he says that he's just trying to get Stephanie to move back to her apartment. And this is where Leonard is given the advice from Howard. Why don't you just text her? And he goes, "Isn't that a bad idea?" And he goes, "Yes, it's beyond
Beyond
reprehensible."
reprehensible.
But as I mean, Howard doesn't say it out loud, but he's basically saying you can't get rid of her to her own apartment. You need to
If you
actually
can't
do
do
this
it to her
done.
face, you need to be a dick and
Yeah.
do it via text.
And he's like, okay. So he grabs it and he starts texting away, staying. And basically, as he's texting, he's talking about it. And he's saying, "I think it would be better for our relationship if you move back to your own apartment." And he hits send and he goes, "There, done. I'm never gonna have sex again." And of course they go, and of course Hal's like, "Good job." Then you just hear the phone vibrate, and he picks it up and he goes, "Oh, I was wrong. See you
See you
later."
later.
And he walks out. So
And
obviously,
leaves his lunch uneaten.
yeah. So obviously Stephanie is okay with the fact that she's being asked to move back to her own apartment, but she's still gonna have sex with him. The
She had to
next,
try and get around it. Yeah.
exactly. The next scene we see standing out the front of Penny's apartment. And he's got his laptop and it's like knock, 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 and he presses a button and you can hear like the Stephen Hawking's
Style,
computer voice.
mechanical
Yeah,
voice.
saying Penny. Knock, 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 press the button.
Penny.
Penny. Knock, 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 press the button. Penny.
Penny.
And Penny opens up the door and she goes, "Sheldon." And he starts typing. He goes, "I've got an inflamed larynx." And she goes, "Okay." And then he types away and he goes, "We're out of the computer says we're out of herbal tea. Do you have some?" And she goes, "Yep, come on in." So
Now, you would have thought that he would
yeah.
anticipate what was going to be said and asked and pre-typed it, so all he had to do was push the button.
Now the last one before the end of the podcast, the last little bit on the computer is hilarious.
Yeah,
He types away and he goes, "Some," and the computer says, "Some hiney would be
would be
nice."
nice. And
And
she's
she
like,
goes,
"Hiney,
"Hiney?" And he goes, and he types her and he goes, "Honey."
hiney."
The episode then goes black, and that is the
Yeah,
end of the episode. I
yeah,
mean, it is a great end to the episode about
yeah.
the fact that he
It
wants
is.
some hiney. But as you said, and I completely 100% categorically agree with you, Stephanie is a manipulator.
Yeah,
And this is the last time we
she's an
actually,
energy vampire, and it's the last
yeah,
time we ever see her.
yeah, we never see her ever again. Um, and I think obviously if we were to explore the episode a little bit further, I think Leonard asking her to go back to her apartment was the end of the relationship.
Yeah.
Because I think Stephanie would have taken that as a slight on her.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
almost like we can't have a relationship if we're
Oh,
not living in
okay,
the same
okay.
place.
Basically, she's an extremist,
Yeah,
and saying that you want to slow it down means you don't like me and you never want to see me again.
exactly. So she would have probably broken it off with Leonard because A, he's
Oh, you froze, honey.
frozen now.
You're you're frozen. So basically,
Am I unfrozen?
yes, you're unfrozen now.
Okay.
So basically,
So basically, it's showing Leonard that because he doesn't want to have her living with him, she's going to sit there and say, well, no, if that's the case, I'm going to break up with you because to be in a relationship with me, we need to live in the same place.
Yeah. I have to be up your ass
Yeah,
24/7.
the way it is that, and as Penny says, which is completely understandable, people move at different speeds. So
Yeah.
just because that Leonard wants to slow things down and get her to move back to her apartment doesn't mean that he doesn't want to have a relationship with Stephanie.
Right.
He's just saying, I want my own space. You've got your apartment. I've got mine. We can still be together, but I
Well,
just,
yeah. And it's like dating an extremist is exhausting.
and that would be exhausting.
Yeah, I dated a guy briefly when I was single who was a lot like that. And it's like I remember one night I had said okay, on Friday I had said to him, I'm working a late show loadout on Saturday night. I'm not going to get home until really, really late. Please don't even think about calling me before noon the
Yeah,
next day because I needed to sleep in.
that's respectable. That's respectful.
Yeah, because I didn't get to bed until almost 2 a.m. that night.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. He
Yeah.
calls me at 8 a.m. on his way to church.
No, after you asked him nicely not to.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, did you not hear me? He's like, oh, no, but I missed you. And I want to tell you, I was thinking about you. And I'm like, that's lovely, but you woke me up. Now go away.
Yeah, you could have told me at 12 o'clock rather than
Yeah.
8 a.m.
We stopped seeing each other shortly after that.
But there are guys out there and there are girls out there as well who I'm sure would love a very clingy person to be with.
Yeah.
If that's your preference, then I'm not going to say how you should live
Yeah,
your
I
life.
mean, different relationships work for different people.
Exactly.
I mean,
But
admittedly, you and I are together a lot, which
mhm,
would not work for some people.
no, but the difference is that we like each other. And
Yeah,
also for the fact is we've got our own respective spaces.
yeah.
I've got my
And
room that
and
I
when I'm working from home, you respect the fact that I'm working from home. And the
exactly.
the only time I really see you is when you come in and say, "Have you had your snack?" or "Have you
Yeah.
had lunch?" and "Do you need more water?"
Yeah.
Otherwise, you pretty much leave me alone.
Yeah. But, there are people that do love a clingy person.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do. But isn't it
Those tend to be
exhaustive?
narcissists.
Yeah, but isn't that exhaustive? I mean, if you've got someone like Stephanie, who, if you're trying to have a serious conversation with about something, and she breaks down into tears and goes and has sex with
Yeah.
you, I mean, yes, that's wonderful. Go ahead. But it's got to be exhaustive after a while that you think to yourself, is this person actually listening to what I want to say? I've
Yeah.
got things I want to say, or am I always having to stops talking and maybe just, tell it all to my friend who's sitting there going, come on, don't you see there's something
Uh,
wrong? And you're
yeah.
sitting there going, yes, there is. Every time I go to say something, they immediately stop and interrupt me with sex or something else, and I
Yeah.
can't speak to them. Yes, I'm sure you think to yourself, oh, it's wonderful that they're up my ass 24/7, but guys, wouldn't it be exhaustive?
Mm.
I couldn't live like that. I really couldn't. I mean, I lived 14 years with my ex-wife who was, I had to say at least 100 times a day, are you okay? And I had to make sure that she was taken care of and her needs were met
Yeah.
and her emotions were all okay. Bugger mine.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit about me? I had to make sure she was okay.
Well, it's like your Father's Day card. Oh, you froze again, honey.
I don't know why I'm freezing.
Now you're back.
Okay. My
But is it?
Father's Day card, my stepson decided to give me a Father's Day card, but it was a postcard. And he had written on one side and she divided it in the center. And I will always remember these words. Instead of Happy Father's Day, Paul, it was keep on keeping me happy. If that was not the biggest red flag on the face of the planet,
I
I
don't know
do
if it
not know.
is.
But guess what? I stayed.
Yep.
But that will always be something that I'll always remember as the most narcissistic thing that you could ever send to somebody. Keep on keeping me
Me
happy. I'm
happy.
sorry, it's not up to me to keep you happy.
Nope.
You keep yourself happy. I will help you out with happiness, but I will not make you happy. Not a chance. I will help you get happy, but it's not up to me to make you happy 24/7. No way.
Now I've
So,
got the Partridge Family in my head.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, come on, get happy.
Happy.
Yeah, yeah, we are too old. But yes,
Yeah.
that was that episode. But as I said, I like Stephanie, an attractive woman. motivated. She's a doctor, whatever, but her needs are
But in her
way too out there.
personal life, she's just way
She's a
too,
mess
yeah,
in her personal life.
she really
And
is.
yes, using sex, I'm sure is good, but it's not going to last forever.
Nope.
So, but yeah, I certainly understand now after watching it so many times that Penny is Leonard's, you know, perfect match.
Yeah.
We've got to get there to the point where Leonard and Penny finally do decide that we are supposed to be together. But everyone's got to do, a couple test runs before they get their perfect match. So,
Yep. You always got to have your practice relationships.
yep. But this is the last time we see Dr. Stephanie, so that's
Yep.
fine. So this week's I'm going to hand it over to you for questions and fun facts and food. So off we go.
Okay. Well, we had two lunches at Caltech and one cooking at home,
Yep. Where
one
Leonard
breakfast
was
at home.
feverishly whipping up the batter.
Yep. Chuck Lorre Productions number 231. I believe that that inherent within the God-given right to the pursuit of happiness is the equally God-given right to the pursuit of unhappiness. This is why I support gay marriage.
Okay. Short, sharp, and shiny. Yeah.
Yep,
Because
exactly.
everybody deserves to be happy and unhappy regardless of
Yep,
whoever you're with.
yep,
And whether you are in a gay relationship, which is just a regular relationship, or in a heterosexual relationship, everybody has the God-given right to be unhappy or happy. So
yep,
it's not
exactly.
just reserved for us heterosexual people.
For us cis people,
Yeah. So yeah, I thoroughly agree, Mr.
Chuck Lorre.
Chuck Lorre. So go for it. Yep.
And our question of the week.
Yes.
Now, be honest.
Be honest, family. We're looking at you.
What's your it's getting serious milestone? The toothbrush, the next Netflix password, or meeting the dog?
Ooh. That's a big one. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
allowed, yeah, if you really look at it, I think the biggest one, okay, in the Big Bang, the biggest thing was Sheldon and Amy sharing a
The
toothbrush
toothbrush
holder.
holder. Yeah.
That was a big one for them.
I loved
Um,
how Leonard was like, "Do we really have to be here for this?" And Penny's like,
oh yes, I thought it was wonderful.
yeah, she was like on
Um,
the verge of tears
yeah,
watching
she
it.
was. Um, I think a lot of people would say the Netflix password is a big one.
Mm.
Because you're giving someone access. They're watching TV for free,
And they can
basically.
see what you're watching.
Yeah, which there's no porn on Netflix anyway.
No, there's some stuff that comes close though.
There's some Balchiga Wawa shows.
Mm.
Okay, you got to show me them.
Okay.
No, I think it would be the Netflix password.
I don't
I
know.
mean,
Meeting
as I
the
said,
dog is very serious.
yeah. I mean, when I first met Kat, she's got this neck pillow that's like this monkey, and he gave me I call him the creepy monkey because he
He's
gave me this.
not creepy.
Oh yeah, he gave me this look like, what are you doing? Animals are okay with me because I love animals. So, whether it's a dog, I can't pet cats, although, I mean,
Oh,
cats,
you can. You just have to wash your hands after.
I have to wash my hands. And if I was to live with an actual cat, I would be on antihistamines for the rest of the time that the cat was alive
Excuse me?
because I'm allergic. Sorry?
Excuse me?
No, no, a cat, not you, cat. Oh my God. I said a feline cat, a real cat. I couldn't
Uh,
live with one of those because I'd have to be on antihistamines because I am very allergic. Thank you for
yeah,
the
he is.
emojis. I am allergic to cats. Where I used to work, we had this stray cat that would wander around,
And
and
she
I
just loved Paul.
yeah, and I was playing with her one day, and she was laying in the car with me, and I was patting whatever, and I thought I washed my hands okay, but there was some obviously dander that was on my shirt,
Uniform.
and my face was just swollen.
Yeah, that was
So
a rough day.
yeah, but I love animals, I really do. I love all animals, but I can't have a cat in my life, unfortunately. But yeah,
Okay. So that pretty much does it for this episode.
yes,
Next
it
time,
does.
we're doing my second favorite episode of the entire series.
Yes, I think I should do the fun facts next week, and you should do the entire podcast.
Nah. Season
Why?
2, episode 11, the bath item gift hypothesis.
Everyone that knows Big Bang knows exactly which one's coming up. So
Yeah, this is my second favorite episode.
yeah, it is a
My
good episode.
Yeah, my first favorite is actually the finale because
Yeah.
there's some really beautiful moments there.
There is definitely.
But yeah, the bath item gift hypothesis is my second favorite episode.
Yeah. No, I like the next episode. So
Okay,
yeah.
so thank you for joining us. If you want to, don't forget to tell them about the Christmas
Oh
thing,
yes. Now the remember the Christmas. We've got the your final cutoff day is the 20th of December. So if you want
2025.
to, yeah, 2025. So if you want to get in to the Christmas giveaway, all you need to do is send me an email. Please don't put your email in the group or the page because I don't want anybody else to get it. Just send it directly to me. Perpetual Motion Squad 00. That's all one word. Perpetual Motion Squad 00 is all one word at gmail.com, and just put your email address and say, I would like to be part of the Christmas giveaway. And then on the 20th of December, that is when the cutoff day is. And we are going to do it our Boxing Day. Sorry, no, our Christmas Day, which will be your Christmas Eve anywhere else in the world. So
Yep.
we're going to do a live episode that is going to be on, obviously, be on YouTube and also on Spotify. I'll make it into a video podcast so you can actually watch the spin happen in real time. Well, whenever you see it, just to show you that we are doing it correctly. We're doing it computerized, so it's not going to be pulling a name randomly out of a hat that's written on paper. We're going to do it computer generated. So if you want to
Cool.
be part of the Christmas giveaway, just write in your email, I'd like to be part of the Christmas giveaway. We'll put your name in. The 20th of December is the cutoff day, and then we will do the thing in the podcast. So
Cool.
yes. So please get involved because someone is going to win a bit of a gift from
From
PMS.
us. Yes.
Yeah. So
A Big Bang Theory related gift,
maybe
or at least a Nerdverse gift.
it'll be something. We don't know
Yeah.
yet. We're thinking about it,
This
but
is
it'll
all
be
Paul's thing, so I have no idea what you're gonna get.
it'll be something. You'll get something.
It'll be
Something
fun.
nice. It'll be something nice and be something fun. But it's free.
Yeah.
Who like put your hand up if you like free stuff. Everyone likes free stuff. So there you go. Kat's got a free stuff on people on you. So, go for it. Just get involved, everybody. And also answer the questions on our Facebook group.
Yep.
Sorry,
Okay.
page.
Yeah. So on the question, the weekly question always goes, does it go in the Spotify show notes?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, okay. I thought it did. Okay. So it's on the
No.
Facebook page. So engage with us there. If you want to do fun stuff and get more into Big Bang Theory things and Nerdverse things,
Yep,
join the Facebook group because we do a lot of fun and silly stuff there.
we do.
You can always email us at
Perpetual Motion Squad 00 at gmail.com.
perfect. And if you like what we're doing here, please invite others to join us. Leave us a like and a review wherever you listen to podcasts. And also, if you want to send us a coffee to say, hey, I really like what you're doing. Christmas is coming up. Let me buy you a coffee. Let me shout you a coffee. The PayPal me link is in the show notes. It's also on the Facebook page. It's also on the YouTube thing. And it's in the about section of the page in the group on Facebook, or you can always just email us directly and
Yeah,
ask for it.
absolutely.
So that does it for this week. We'll see you next time for the bath item gift hypothesis. And in the meantime, we'll catch up with you at the Cheesecake Factory.
Bye, everyone.